Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Come Out Things, where obviously things come out. All right. Now, we have not been on air for a little while, a couple of days, because we were dealing with things relevant to the situation with Albert John. Just to let us know, please, we have not forgotten Albert John. I do not want any of you to forget Albert John because that is what certain people want. That it is swept under the rug and not spoken about anymore. We have started collecting funds so that we can pay an independent pathologist. We are very near to the amount that we require, all right? And we've put certain things in place, written correspondence to the relevant authorities, and done what is necessary to ensure that Albert John's matter is looked into thoroughly and that there's no collusion between certain people relevant to it, okay? Anyway, we move on here. No, I want to speak to you about some topics that need to be addressed, obviously. No, we're hearing a lot of talk on the radio about security officers in school. I want you all to know that security officers were placed in schools. There were 7 schools which were thought to be the most dangerous schools, where it's likely that violence and certain deviant behavior will be occurring, where security officers were stationed. I don't know if you know this, but I have the documentation to prove this. These security officers were placed and they were supposed to be versed in policing, counseling. They needed certain criteria in order to get this job. Anyway, what happened is this. Certain of those officers took their jobs seriously. You will note there's still some at some schools, but there are some who have been placed elsewhere in a different position altogether. You know why? Because they took their jobs seriously and they went about speaking to the principal and to the authorities about things they saw and what would happen. You know what happened? It is alleged that the principals did not want certain information coming up because it would affect the publicity, all right, of the school. It would affect how the public thought of the school. So they ensure that certain information was kept within. And when they saw that these security officers were doing their jobs and ensuring that certain things were being done, they spoke to people at the Ministry of Education and got them removed. Okay? That is one. Next, the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. Now you will notice that people are going into Queen Elizabeth Hospital with an illness. But some of them are either not coming out or they're coming out with something else. It has been alleged that there's a bacteria that people are picking up within the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, which is drug resistant. No drug is able to treat this illness, this infection that people get. And I have about 3 people who called me. One of them, their mother passed away. She passed away, she was 60, 61, 62. And she passed away because she went in with one thing and came out. Well, she didn't even get a chance to leave. Came with something else that she caught while in the hospital on the ward. We don't know what it is. It could be that the doctors ain't washing their hands properly. It could be that the utensils are not being sterilized. Whatever it is causing something that people are not getting rid of. It is causing something very, very serious. We need to look at this. This is another thing we need to look at. No, when it comes to investments, we saw TKY and those other things being, bandied around on what was spoken about in the media relevant to that. And other things coming up, like, what people call blossoms or flowers or whatever they are, like old time meetings and that kind of thing. People are apprehensive about them. And we noticed that the government, the central bank government, came out and spoke about this, which is not a norm. Came out and spoke about it, and then TKY up and they disappeared. People had invited me to it. I didn't go because I'm apprehensive about things, but I don't know anything about it. However, I've noticed something, a trend here in Barbados, where when there's certain developments, we see certain people getting involved. And I say this because there are government officials involved in similar activities. Now that TK Willie is gone, it's come to the attention of people that there are people in government who have similar agendas undergoing right now, where they're asking people to invest and they get back dividends as a result. You understand me? I've also noticed, and this is before, remember the single-use plastics? I want you to remember these single-use plastics, because legislation was passed to get rid of plastics, period. You understand? Because they were a harm to the environment. However, when you are involved in the passing of legislation, you should not have your finger in the pie of the company that would benefit from when this legislation is passed. And this is what we are hearing. We are hearing that certain people have their fingers in the pie. You won't see their names coming up if you go to corporate affairs. But when you do a trace, you're seeing that they are a shareholder in companies which benefit as a result of legislation or as a result of companies leaving Barbados. I'm saying this to let you know that the same way TKY came here and did what they did, there are government officials who have the similar agenda going on right now, where they're asking people to come and invest and they will receive dividends. Okay? Letting you know this. Anyway, as I go on, there are many little things we need to speak about. There's an incident that occurred a couple years ago in Bashaw, Snagland to be exact, where some houses caved in as a result of water running through, and when they looked, there was a chasm 20 feet deep. A lady came on and spoke, and on the media, she has 2 children living with her. One of them is young, 7 years old now, right? But the other one was of a tender age at that point in time too. And the government had promised her a placement somewhere. Up to yesterday, that lady is still looking for some place to go. She has to be going and renting and being shuttled from here to there. And because she had a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom house where she was in Bashaw. And now she is dependent on government for somebody to have to shelter her, she and her children. This is years now. This is more than 10 years that this occurred. It is time that government keep its promises and ensure that people who, due to whatever natural disaster or due to the fault of whatever contractor or whatever, because we need to do environmental studies before we build houses and stuff like that, all right, that these people who are subjected to this are given somewhere where they can rest their head. All right, this is too long now. I'm begging you, please, whoever is listening, please, all right, it is time that these people have somewhere to go. All right, anyway, this is me for this morning. All right, I want you people to remember, do not forget Albert John. Do not forget, watch what is happening around you. Question everything. All right, question everything. And please keep your spirits up and your tempers down. And always remember, do something good for someone each and every day. All right, have a blessed and wonderful day. This is Winston Clark for Come Out Things. I'm out.